We're here today with Roland Hill, Managing Director of FYI Resources. Roland, thanks for your time.
No, pleasure to be here. Thanks, Dave.
It's been a busy 12 months. Can you explain a little bit about the project and its advantages?
Yeah, so we're doing something a little bit different. It's high purity alumina, or HPA. It's a kaolin-based product. So what we're hoping to do is become a material producer of HPA globally. It's a small market globally, but we're aiming to replace the traditional source of supply, which is from bauxite. There's a lot of negativity, I think, around the world on bauxite mining and the product. So as a derivative of bauxite, it's difficult to get supply and pricing is there. So we're in a very focused area, and we're doing rapid progress for the project.
And the advantages of where your project's located?
Oh, absolutely superb. We're about 2 hours drive northeast of Perth. Our project area is called Cadoux. Massively well endowed with infrastructure. There's rail, road, all within a kilometre, phone lines, water, everything's there. But key to the project is our kaolin project, our asset. It's a first-class asset for HPA, and we've proven that, demonstrated that through our R&D and our development timeline. So yeah, we're very lucky.
You recently released a PFS. What were some of the key findings?
Yeah, the PFS is probably our first economic overlay of the project. It really is just a supportive document in terms of finding what the project is aware of and can generate. And simply, the key findings were a fantastic, not only a fantastic product, we could get 99.99, which is our target product, but we could get higher than that, 5 nines. But in terms of the NPV, very astonishing, of 500 odd million US dollars, great IRR around about 45%, and yeah, good EBITDA, good cash flows, a very robust project. So, so it supports development.
PFS, in some respects, is the beginning.
Yes.
How do you optimise into the BFS?
Yeah, well, that's a good point, doesn't it? So the PFS is obviously the first key. That was the clue for us to move on. There was significant demonstration there that it was a world-class asset and world-class economics. So we pretty much embarked on the BFS straight away. We had shareholder support for that. And largely the key is that it's market-driven. It's not a traded commodity. It's by contract. And a lot of the end user engagement that we'd had suggested that we should embark on the BFS, which we have. We're about halfway through that now, due for completion in September this year. And within that is a pilot plant. We see that as being a critical element of the development and BFS understanding. And of course, it included increased customer engagement as we can verify and validate our R&D findings and our PFS findings.
You touched on end users. Who are they? What sort of groups? Yeah. And how advanced are the discussions with those groups?
Yeah, certainly. So it's not like a normally traded commodity. There's specific markets. Those names that generally dominate that market, it's a Southeast Asian market at the moment. Probably about 80% of the market is Southeast Asia. China, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan to a degree. And they're usually the larger groups within that. So you can talk about the Samsungs and POSCOs, Mitsuis, Sojits, those sorts of people, so good quality names. And we've been talking to some of these groups for over a year now, since understanding the quality that we can produce from Cadoux.
Where to for now, and what should investors focus on?
Yeah, no, that's a key question. That's a very good question. We've got a very active 6 months ahead of us. That's the completion of the BFS. Within that, as I mentioned, we have the pilot plant. That will be the ultimate verification of this process. We're also doing some locked cycle testing, which is also critical to the testing. And a couple of other key things. So hopefully we might get some further engagement from the end users or the customers, and the development of our 2 core assets, which is the Cadoux mine site, and we're hoping to have a refinery at Kwinana, just south of Perth, and that's looking very, very promising at this stage.
a Tier 1 asset in a Tier 1 jurisdiction. Exciting times ahead. Roland, thanks for your time.
That about sums it up. Thanks, Dave. Cheers.